going down to San Diego. We're picking up my LS swap kit. I am super excited. We're on our way to go pick up Ethan right now, and then straight from there we'll go ahead and go out to San Diego. We might pick up some breakfast or something. I'm pretty hungry. He'll probably be hungry too. But I'm excited. We're gonna get it back to Zach's house. We're probably gonna get it unboxed today. Here picking up Ethan. Here's his little Miata, making about 300 wheel horsepower turbo. Shit's fun as fuck to drive. Let's see where this retard's at. Guarantee you it takes 15 minutes to come out here. Alright guys, it's pretty exciting. I have all the pieces to my Monster Miata V8 swap kit. It looks amazing. I'm super hyped on it. It's going to make swapping that Miata over there somewhat easy. Thank you to Martin over at Monster Miata. It was Black Friday, so he did help me out on pricing on the kit, so I do appreciate that. We worked out a little deal. He was local in San Diego, so me and Ethan were able to pick it up a few days ago. This is a couple days later, but I'm excited to show you guys what this V8 swap kit consists of. But I know a couple of you are probably going to ask why I'm doing the LS swap in general over any of the other very popular swap kits they have to offer for the Miatas, or why I'm doing an LS V8 over any of the other V8s. So let's go ahead and start off with the swap in general. Now they all cost bare minimum 10 to 11 grand to put in your car. It's not because of cost, it's because of affordability, reliability, how easy it is to make power, the torque that they produce, and because I've always loved V8s. I grew up around my dad. He's had about 14 to 15 different Mustangs. He was always working on them. I was helping him work on them. We were at the drag strips, we were at the car shows constantly. So that's where my love for V8s came from, and also my love for cars in general. So in short, my dad's the reason why I'm spending all this money and blowing my bank account. So shout out to my dad. He's probably laughing watching that right now. So I appreciate him getting me into cars, appreciate him supporting all my videos, so that's pretty cool. Now, the reason why I chose the V8 swap in general over a K-Series or an SR20 or a 2J or a 1J or any of the other V8s. Let's go and start off with the K-Series. So I've had an 06 RSX Type S. It had a K20 in it. It was a very fast engine for being in a car that weighed about 2,900 pounds. Full exhaust, intake, and it was chipped. It was kind of fast, sounded kind of cool, but I don't want another 4-cylinder in my car. If I wanted another 4-cylinder, I would have kept my motor and I would have built the engine. Now, the reason why I'm not doing an SR20 is because of what it costs to swap in your car and make about the same power as my turbo Miata made. I don't like that, but I want to go to a V8, so that's that. So that's for the 4-cylinders, both the K-swap and the SR20 swap. Now, as far as your 6-cylinders, you have your 2Js, you have your 1Js. I've seen people swap in a VQ, which I would never think of. But as far as the 1J and the 2J, they're too long. They're just simply too long. They throw off the weight balance of the Miata. The V8, some people might think does as well, but I am going to be running an aluminum block and also utilizing the Monster Miata swap kit. It's going to put the engine pretty far back into the engine bay to where it's going to keep that 50-50 weight balance. With having my previous setup being boosted, it'll probably be about 100 to 200 pound difference between the LS in my car and the Miata motor with all the turbo parts on it, because obviously those parts are pretty heavy. If you haven't felt them, everything together weighs quite a bit. So that's the reason why I'm not doing a 2J or a 1J, is because it'll throw off the weight balance. I would never think to do a VQ, so that's out of the question. And as far as the LS in general, so why I chose the LS over a 5.0 or a Hellcat engine or any of the other V8 options. One, of affordability. They're very cheap, very easy to work on. I could throw in a mild cam, run it on some E85, and probably make 360 to 370 out of a L33 or an LM7. I'm going to be getting an aluminum 5.3, so nothing crazy, just going to refresh it up, probably do some head work, throw a mild cam in it, do springs. I'll re-gasket the engine. We'll go ahead and reseal it all up. Make sure it's prime and ready to go. But that's the main reason why I would want to do an LS over a 5.0 is because of affordability, cost, the power it can make so easily with the money that you put into it compared to a 5.0, which I do like the 5.0s. My dad, like I said, I grew up around the older 5.0s out of the Fox bodies, but the amount of money and work you had to put into them to make a certain amount of power just wasn't worth it to me. They do sound amazing, and they can make good power, but with a little bit more money. So that's the main reason I'm doing the LS over the 5.0. Now, the reason why I'm doing the LS over a Hellcat engine might be an easy answer for some of you guys. One, very heavy. Two, very costly. And three, I don't need that much power. And my goal is 400 max, and that's more than enough power in a little Miata. My car only weighs about 2,300 pounds. The weight's not going to change too much with putting the aluminum block V8 in it. So that's the reason why I'm choosing to go that way. I'm very excited, and I'm very excited to show you guys all these parts that I've received from Martin. He put a lot of time into his welds. Everything is very, very clean. I have almost everything I need besides the drivetrain and fuel and wiring, but that's all I need. Probably be putting the subframe within the next couple of weeks to mock it up. Probably pick up an LS block, start mocking things up pretty soon, but till then, let me show you guys these parts. He did an amazing job on the whole kit, and I do appreciate him hooking me up on this kit. Go ahead and start with the front of the car. So we have these nice fans. They look to be like they're 12-inch fans. We have some brackets for the radiator. Also a support bracket from the underneath side of the radiator. And then I have an idea on how to mount it on the top, which I will be showing you in a later video. I have these sway bar extension mounts to mount the sway bar a little bit further up so it's not in the way when you put in the LS, because it does get in the way. Coming down to how the differential mounts, so there's two mounts. There's your front and your back side, or switch around. We'll get down to that when I get the 8.8 diff. This shouldn't be too hard. This just modifies my stock subframe. I just weld these two pieces to my stock rear subframe, and it will allow me to mock up the 8.8 into my car. Coming down to the slave, so this is my clutch slave, and this is the adapter to mount it to my car, so I'll have no issues there. It is a Willwood, so it's a nice slave. Here's the hardware to mount it. These are just motor mount hardware, but I'll get down to that. Here's my clutch line to go from the clutch master down to my slave cylinder on my transmission. And then we come down. Let's go ahead and check this out. Try not to scratch anything. So this is the transmission cross member. This is how I'm going to be mounting up the transmission. As you can see, these are going to be mounting into my frame rails that Martin has supplied for me. So these are going to be either bolted up or welded onto my OEM frame rails. I don't know if it provides any stiffness. It might, but if not, that's okay. It's just as a way to mount this cross member. And then I do have to drill some holes, which I will get down to that when we do get into that, which will be later down the line. But moving on to the most expensive piece, the subframe. It's absolutely beautiful. Martin really did a nice job on the welds. He should really take some better pictures and post it up on his website, because he doesn't really have too much detail on all his parts for the LS swap part of it. He does have some information on the 5.0 kits, but not too much on the LS swap. This subframe does utilize a NA rack out of the NA Miatas, so from 90 to 97. So we'll be getting something. They do still utilize the eccentric bolts to make sure your alignment's always in place. Gusseted for support. Very, very nice. Super nice mounts with poly bushings. He even supplied hardware for the mounts. These two Allen heads are for these mounts back here, since of course you wouldn't be able to fit a socket into that, so he just uses Allen heads for that. And then coming down to the axles, so he has supplied everything to build axles for the car to mount onto the stock hubs on the Miata. I am running Zarek Fab dual caliper knuckles, but same thing, it'll still fit, and I'm very, very excited. These, as he says, is not broken on anyone. I don't expect it to break on me. They look like they're pretty beefy. I've never built a set of axles, so Ethan's going to be helping me with that. And then also, he does supply a radiator. It is being shipped in right now, so I'll go ahead and film that a different time. But the Monster Miata radiator showed up, and of course I already started unboxing it. Get this off right away. You can see, super nice TIG welds on this aluminum piece. Sweet. It's gonna sit like that. Here's for my upper rad, there's my lower rad, there's the drain plug. I do need to cap this off right here, but there she is. Super nice. It's crazy how it already comes with bends in the radiator. That's amazing. There is a radiator with a kit. I have to figure out some wiring on it, but I'll ask Martin what he does for that. But that is the kit. I'm very excited to do everything to the car. So far on the car, we have stripped the car down to a bare shell. The interior stripped, the engine bay was stripped. We sanded down the bay, we primered it. Me and Mitch went ahead and cut up the engine bay support mounts towards the rear. I'll probably plop in a video right here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Alright guys, I cut all it properly to line the trans tunnel. Bam, bitches. We went ahead and cut those. You do need those to fit the V8, which I'll be showing you later on. Without those cut out, it would have not fit.